Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Creating with Your Spiritual Universe. And I'm your host, Roger Baines. Be sure to catch us on Facebook, the group, Facebook group by the same name, Creating with Your Spiritual Universe. Also on Instagram and soon Twitter. You can also go to the website and check out our services. We have some great, phenomenal services there. Great healers who are there for you. If you're guided to, and if you need counseling, advice, healing of any kind. So today we're going to talk about emotion. And this is going to focus a bit, this conversation is going to focus a bit on emotional intelligence. And can be dovetailed quite nicely into the video that I created recently involving, let's see here, what's the name of that? Yes, involving, had a little bit of a brain freeze there, involving the 5 languages of love, or the 5 love languages, the book by Gary Chapman. And we're going to talk about the emotions, or the emotional needs, the 6 key emotional needs. And these needs are needs that we all have, and by understanding these needs, we're able to understand each other a whole lot more. Now, every single person is aware of these. These 6 emotional needs is not an original topic. It was extrapolated by a man by the name of Anthony Robbins. And he basically used the model of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and which is based on material needs. He broke it down a little bit more into the emotional needs, because once you have satisfied all of those physical needs, and those are your physiological needs, your breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, and excretion, homeostasis. Then, once that's satisfied, then you have safety, which is security of your body, employment, resources, morality, your family, health, your property. Then it moves up again to the next physical level, which is friendship, family, and sexual intimacy, which falls in the category of love and belonging. And then you have esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, and respect by others. And then once you have all of those, you're able to go beyond and into the level of self-actualization, which is morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. Okay, so these grow on each other, and if you are worried about a roof over your head, you're not going to care pretty much about any of the other things. You're not going to, friendship at that point doesn't really matter. What does it matter how many friends you have if you don't have a place to sleep, if you don't have food to eat? So you want to have, so those things have to be satisfied first. Now, if you can look at what I've just said about all of those things, you will see and realize that if someone wants to control you, this would be a very good way to control you. If you, and if you look at those who are in power and ruling, they're always attacking one of those things to keep you in control. If you don't make enough money to pay your rent, you won't be challenging the government over anything, will you? No, not at all. And as a matter of fact, I just looked at a survey that showed that the average wage or in most states is not enough to cover the rent. One individual earning that amount of money, that average amount of money, cannot cover rent in their state. So this is how slowly you can they work on keeping you in control. But as you know, if you've been listening to us here, you can bypass all of that and create your own situation where you will be unplugged from that system. That is the old way of thinking. That is the old reality that we're moving away from. And waking up is part of the realization of those things that are being done to keep us tamped down. All right, so we've just discussed the physical needs that we have according to Maslow, or Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now let's delve into the subject here at hand that this transmission is all about. And we want to talk about the 6 key emotional needs that we have as human beings. And the first one is certainty, which is a sense of security, safety, and comfort in your life, in the world. And this is important because whether you realize it or not, everything that you do, one of the first things you do is you make an evaluation of how secure that is. And sometimes that evaluation is done in a split second. You see something, you look at it, boom, you assess it without thought. It's a part of the checklist that you automatically go down, you go down in your mind. That checklist, you check it off in your mind without even thinking about it. Because we want to make sure whatever it is that we're doing, whoever it is that we're with, whatever situation we're in, that it's safe. And that is very key. Then, of course, the next thing you want, you just want, if you have too much safety and everything is super too safe, and it has a way of blocking out the next need, which is variety. So once you have safety, you want variety, a sense of change and interest and adventure in your life. And once you have that, the next thing is that we have a need for is significance. We want to have a sense of uniqueness, a sense of individuality, and some sense of being special. However way you want to put that one. Everyone has a need to be significant. Everyone wants to be needed. So that we can, so that in that way we can create value within our lives. And of course, the next need is love and connection. A sense of acceptance and belonging and support. We want to have friends. We want to have family. We want to have connections with other human beings, nature, your plants, your pets. We have that need. And then you've got need number 5, which is growth. Everyone wants to grow. A desire to learn, to grow, and to evolve. We take in information, we take in education, and we take on certain things so that we can grow, so we can evolve, so that we can feel that we are increasing from within in that way. Then last, not least of the 6, of course, is the desire to give, which is, of course, contribution. Contribution, the desire to give to those around us. And this is so important, because with all of these emotional needs that which are now inherently coming into the consciousness of human beings, we're now open to that. We're now accepting that emotional needs are important. Emotional intelligence is important in these days. And so having an understanding of these six needs is extremely beneficial. How are they beneficial? In my experience, I found that if there is a situation, if I'm setting up any kind of organization or I'm getting into any kind of relationship of any kind, one of the blueprints that I have set up within my mind are these six emotional needs. I want that to be the foundation. I want the person to be safe. I want the situation to have safety built within it. I want variety, interest, adventure. I want everyone to feel like, not only to just feel, but to know that they're an important piece of whatever it is that we're doing. Their efforts and their contribution is extremely important, and it's needed. And it's essential that they contribute in that way. And then I want everyone to feel connected, or at least that's the idea. That's the idea. Everyone feel connected, and not only just feel connected, have the avenue so that the connection, the love and the connection, has an avenue to tangibility, to where, yeah, you know what? That person can say, I know that I'm cared for because when I needed something, it was there. When I needed someone to speak to, when I wanted to connect to someone, they were there in that way. And of course, you want people to feel like they can grow and be able to contribute. And that is the basis. And if we were to create organizations like that, we would solve most of the problems that people have. Once this is understood and you've got a situation where everyone is in line with these foundations, right? If everyone's in line with these foundations, you're going to be able to get a lot of things done. Think about it. If your child hasn't, a lot of times people, you see someone and you go, what's wrong? And they talk to you and you don't know where to go. If you have just these six emotional needs, and they're pretty easy to remember, it's just six of them, and you overlay most situations with those, you'll find that the person is asking for at least one, two, or maybe even three of these. And because those are not being satisfied, it throws them out of balance. When I was raising my two daughters, if they had a problem and I didn't know where to go, I would just go, oh, yeah, let me just see what emotional needs is coming up here, and it was usually, I can't really, and it was so successful, I don't remember a time using it where it didn't work. I just don't. And you just overlay these six human needs in any situation as a basic standard to start anything. And you will see where a person is always, a person that is upset, a person that is not happy. This is usually a few of these reasons will be why that is the case. Conversely, if you look at people that are happy, people that are fulfilled and satisfied, you'll find that all of these are being satisfied. When you're fulfilled, it's because you're certain. You have variety and adventure in your life. You have a purpose in your life. Significance. People who have life purpose, significance is not going to be a problem because that is being taken care of by the purpose of their life. Matter of fact, if you're in the purpose of your life, if you're here doing what you're you planned to do before you came here, all 6 of these will be satisfied. You will be a fulfilled and happy person no matter what's going on. It just will be. Okay? And so here's one of the other things that you can use this for. If you have a personality that let's use issues that we deal with here on planet Earth on an everyday basis. If you have an addiction, it'll be because that addiction satisfies at least 3 of these emotional needs. Any kind of addiction. If anything that satisfies at least 3 of these needs can become an addiction. Addicted to food, hey, certainty. You know that when you get your favorite comfort food, whatever it is, you're going to be certain about how you're going to feel, and you're going to be certain about how it tastes, and you're going to be certain about what you're going to get out of it. Because that's why it's a comfort food. It's always brought that to you. And it's going to connect you to that emotion and feeling that you like. So there's 2. And it's going to bring significance to you and even variety to you. So there, you got potentially 3 or 4 things. So that's why an addiction to food is something that can happen. And it's ironic because you need food. And food gives, at one point or another, it satisfies all 5 of these, or is a part of the thing that satisfies all 5. So, and that's pretty self-explanatory. How about some other things? Let's talk about one thing. Let's talk about violence. Why do so many people, why are so many of us violent? Why do we have war? Think about it. Excitement. If I have a gun to your head, hey, there's a lot of certainty that I know exactly what's going to happen because I'm in control. There's certainty. Violence will bring that to you. It's exciting because, hey, at the same time, anything can happen. There's number 2. Number 3, significance. The most important person in your life at that point is the person with a gun to your head. So, that's kind of a crude example, but it's one everybody can identify with. So very significant. So there you have 3. And there might not be love involved, but there's connection. 4. That's it right there. If you have at least 3, as I said before, it can be an addiction. If you have 4, it can become an even stronger addiction. So now you see why many people are attracted to violence. So if we applied this kind of knowledge in our judicial system, in our incarceration system, and dealt with teaching people how to satisfy these needs in a more constructive fashion, we would be able to rehabilitate people a lot more successfully. But as you know, it's an industry, our incarceration system, involving our judicial system. It's an industry to make money, so they're not really interested in that. But this can be overlaid put over so many things and solve so many problems. The problems we have in this world are not difficult problems to solve. It requires will. In dealing with human emotions is not a simple concept, but the beginnings and the startings of it certainly can be, should we choose to go that route. So become acquainted with these 6 human needs. And just becoming acquainted with them will give you transformational power, literally. Will give you the ability to look into situations and become a causer, become someone who makes a difference. Just with a little bit of knowledge, such as this, you can make huge differences in your own life and the life of many, many, many other people. So thanks for listening. And I'm going to leave a link of all of these needs below. I'll probably just link you to a website that has a little bit of information on this. And you can start applying this to your life. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And until the next video, remember to defy the taboo against finding out.